Okay, now let's practice actually converting temperatures because you're going to have to do this a lot for this class. So I went ahead and I wrote down these equations and conversion factors for you so we could reuse them in this problem. So what is 439 Kelvin in Fahrenheit? Okay, now as a note, like I said before, you can take any which path you want to get to the end, and so long as you end at the same spot, you're fine. But there are faster ways, there are shorter ways. Just do the way that makes the sense for you, okay? So if I'm doing this, what I usually like to do is to go from absolute to absolute. So I would go from Kelvin to Rankine, and then from Rankine to Fahrenheit. That makes the most sense to me. If you have an equation directly from Kelvin to Fahrenheit, you can use that too, but I take my own steps. So first off, I'm going to convert from Rankine to Kelvin. As a note, Rankine is always a bigger number than Kelvin because Rankine are smaller steps than Kelvin. It takes more of them to do it. So my temperature in Rankine is 1.8 times my temperature in Kelvin. So 1.8 times 439 is 790.2 Rankine. And then if I want to go to Fahrenheit, I have to subtract off 460. It's 459.67 technically. I usually round it to 460. If I do that, I get a temperature of 330.5 Fahrenheit. So I went to Rankine, I went to Fahrenheit, not too bad. Okay, what is negative 211 degrees Celsius in Rankine? I always like to go to the absolute units to switch from one to the other. I totally could go from Celsius to Fahrenheit, but usually it makes more sense to me to go from Celsius to Kelvin and then Kelvin to Rankine because it's just less math, it's less calculations. So first I'm going from Celsius to Kelvin. To do that, I just add 273.15. So know that your number in Kelvin is always going to be a bigger number than your number in Celsius. Because you have at absolute zero Kelvin, you're at negative 273 Celsius. So I do that and I go from negative 211 to 62.15 Kelvin. And I can use that same conversion I used earlier, just in reverse, to get to Rankine. So my temperature Rankine is going to be 1.8 times my temperature at Kelvin. And so I plug that in and I get 111.9 Rankine. I have my answer. Nice. So that negative 211 degrees Celsius is very, very cold. Finally, what is negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius? Well, let's find out. We have a conversion directly from Fahrenheit to Celsius, so we're going to use that this time. So I plug it in. As a note, this is going to have to be rearranged because I'm going from Fahrenheit to Celsius. And so this is what it looks like. So my temperature in Fahrenheit, minus 32 divided by 1.8. So I get negative 72 divided by 1.8. And it comes out to be negative 40 degrees Celsius. And you're like, wait a second, what? Yes, negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to negative 40 degrees Celsius. This is the only point where they intersect. I love that point, and it's really fun to confuse students with it. Okay, that was it for this time. Just a little bit of practice using these equations. And if you end up using Google or something else, I'm not going to judge you, but you should definitely practice. Make sure you can actually do this on your own before you do that. I always say, like, you don't have any business using a calculator until you can at least do basic math on your own. Learn how to do it yourself, and then make it easier on yourself in the future. So, thank you all so much, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.